issue just like how good of a hero is Bloodseeker right now, but he is versus some really good matchups. So I'm not sure. I think that I would like playing Liquid's draft overall again. Yep. However, I think Entity, they've got Stormstormer is absolute best hero. So I think that's probably the best thing they have going for them. But again, I like what Liquid has. I think they've proven time and time again, at least, how this Rubik and Beast ends up working. Going for a little bit of a different one, going for the Bane to deal with that Death Prophet and stuff like that. But let's see how, we'll see how it all works. I don't really like Chen. That's kind of like one of my big things. I don't know. This hero just feels underwhelming.
I mean, what is Chen good at in this sort of game that maybe Liquid won't have all the answers? Like, or do they just have the answers to everything that Chen can kind of offer? I
mean, perhaps in some mid-game fights, the heal can really prove to put some big problems in. When you've got, like, if he does, I mean, Toby's probably going to go to the mech, actually. But when they have the mech timing plus that Hand of God online inside of these mid-game team fights, there could be issues that Liquid runs into and some damage.
I guess he's going to be trying to get the shard, right?
Yes, that's the biggest thing. You want to get Shard versus the Beastmaster to take away that Ancient. But we've seen, I mean, we saw the other day that Chu played it, and he actually went like Holy Lock.
Focused, yeah, finish off the Holy Lock. But and in that sense, in these sort of games, you do kind of want to see the Chen trying their best to get that Shard ASAP.
Yes, absolutely.
Because it's just such a powerful thing to be able to do against the Beastmaster.
Yeah, as long as they're able to. Because the other day when we did see the Chen, I mean, if you remember that game, it was over in, like, I think 17 minutes, right? I think that was the 17-minute GG game, if I'm not mistaken.
He had some quick ones.
So we'll see what he's going to be able to do. Katomi still, I mean, his Tiny, has been amazing, so eyes on him, I think, to dictate pace of the early game. But this time, I feel like it's a little harder for him to just leave the bottom lane. Toby was playing Darkseer where he was just, like, cutting creeps and doing all these type of shenanigans. It's a Bane Bloodseeker lane. This is a very oppressive lane. Bane, a very strong laner. You can set up for the blood rights, and you have good chase out. So I think Katomi actually has to stay down here more. That being said, though, I think Stormstormer should be able to hold his own, as he has gone Quas Wex. As usually, I think everyone knows, Stormstormer 99% of the time goes Exort. Oh. But he's going the Meteor Hammer build.
All right. See how much pressure he's able to put on, and indeed, if he can hit those combos, take some early towers. I mean, overall, as well, you know, you talk about kind of Katomi not being able to make those moves. Even if he was able to make them towards mid, is it a bit hard to sort of catch in Pango in that sort of toss back as compared to sort of the damage that was done to Nishi's early game when he played Lesh?
No, I mean, I think he would still be able to get the toss plays. It's just about the cooldowns. If you see the swash being used, then you can make the go.
Yeah.
But I think my big thing that I'm looking at is I think just Watson's going to have a way harder time. And he's countered in the game, too, playing versus Bloodseeker. So he's going to be slowed down from the constant spams that come out, and we'll see what Fishman's able to do to kind of offset that. Fishman at the moment, he's got a Centaur Courser. I mean, some magic resist. It's just going to die, just kidding. Well, it was some magic resist, at least for Watson versus the Axe spam, but Zai's going to have an absolutely free game up here.
Sure, which is going to be a big difference from last time. Zai had a slow start, and Watson, of course, was getting kills handed to him. Sort of like 3-0-1 at 7 minutes in. This game, when he's playing the Slark with the sort of laning situation that's happened this time round, probably not going to be anything similar to that this time in terms of action he can get involved in himself.
I'd say he's playing a better hero overall.
Yep.
Like in grand scheme of games, because I think TB is a pretty tough hero to make work, even though Watson does make it happen sometimes. However, he's playing versus Bloodseeker, so it's, you know, the overall game for him is still going to be challenging in the mid game.
We'll see indeed if McKay is able to have a better time down here on this side of the map.
Yeah, let's see if, I mean, Watson, it's like, how much is Chen going to be able to do to help him heal? He doesn't have Headdress. Fishman actually went for the Ring of Protection earlier this game, rather than having Headdress to keep the heals up. And he doesn't even have the Aura. He actually takes Penitence. A bit interesting. I think most of the times we see, even though Divine Favor is honestly one of the worst spells in Dota, just conceptually. It's 1 armor, 1 regen. Usually you do want to see it being picked up as Fishman. He might just be dead here. Another set of axes. Can Zai land it? Joking.
First blood for Zai. I mean, already just a night and day difference in terms of Zai's beginning this time round on the Beastmaster in this game too.
And he's going to have, I mean, he gets first blood, which is massive for a hero like Beastmaster when you're in this type of lane. He's got Arcane Boots in a second. And he's playing with a Rubik, so the constant spam that's going to come out onto Watson, it'll increase. Right now, Watson, though, as we said, he's farming very well.
He's hitting the creeps fine.
Zai is also.
And how are they doing for regen between the two of them? We're just 2 tangos on Fishman, and Watson himself, just the stick charges and the fairy fire. So yeah, as you say, when the Arcanes are out there, the spam's going to become a bit too much for them in this top lane. So we'll see how well Entity are able to deal with that.
Amazing what
Stormstormer still winning the mid lane though. So 21-5 versus the Pangolier. Has that ranged right click always constantly harassing him. Should have a very good timing on his Meteor Hammer. And I mean, I haven't gotten to see too much Meteor Hammer Invokers. I know he's ran it a couple times. It's looked pretty good, but we got to see the original Meteor Hammer one back in the day. The Topson Meteor Hammer Invoker from the old days. Which, I mean, as long as you're playing around it nicely, it can be pretty damn strong. They don't have the... How many ways do they really have of canceling it, right? They have like the Rubik lift, and then they have to commit pretty big spells to actually get on it to stop it. Could be kind of cool.
And do you imagine when sort of Stormstormer, in terms of the way he likes to play, will he go back for the Midas after the Meteor Hammer, or do you just skip that completely when you're doing this build as Invoker?
That's a risk. I don't think you actually can, unfortunately. But, I mean, maybe he does, depending on how the early pickoffs, if he's able to find. I personally don't think so. I think it's a bit too greedy when you're playing with the Slark on your team.
This is where things don't get that fun for Watson at all.
Toby, he actually tanks the Blood Right. Is he going to be okay, though?
I mean, he's relying on the Siphons. Mickey?
He's going down.
He knows he can dive in and take this. Maybe relying on the Siphons a bit too much there, Toby. Thinking he could survive through that damage.
He got body blocked a tiny bit too. Like Mickey got in front of him, so he was just keeping him inside that Blood Right, but it does connect. And there's a lot of XP. That's a sad death for this Death Prophet if he doesn't make it back down here in time. Triple range creep. I mean, Katomi will be happy. But okay, he does make it back down in time. Doesn't miss out on all that XP.
How's the mid CS so far with 31 for 4, 27 for 7. A little bit of a Phoenicia. Top lane, Watson. Just constantly been kept so low. It's not going to be an easy road to this last level towards the 6 of Slark in this lane.
No, not by any means. He does have this like forest hill troll priest that will be able to pump him up with some heals at least. He needs that desperately. That's actually probably the best one that he could have gotten on Fishman.
It really is in this sort of position where you're just trying to keep the Slark alive until 6.
But the spam really is just continuing and continuing. Arcane Boots back up in 4 seconds. And a Haste Rune, Nisha, he's got one inside the bottle.
Oh, so Watson
finds him.
He's actually able to get in and get the kill.
By himself.
All right.
Watson.
I mean, that'll definitely help him on his quest to the level 6. Just gets a solo kill on Zai.
That was very unexpected. Watson always impressing, it feels like, on Entity. Yeah, very unexpected. Yeah, this creep is doing work. He's got both of the really good small camp, or well, small and medium camp creeps. The mana regen and the health. So he's just going to keep Watson pumped up.
Oh, this is good stuff from Entity. Yeah, really gets Watson past that, what could have been a very rough stage of the lane.
And Stormstormer, he's about to have level 4 Quas, and he's got his Meteor Hammer done, so he's going to start being able to put that harassment onto the tower and onto Nisha, perhaps. Again, we're looking at the triangle. The usual Beastmaster shenanigans are occurring. The stacks are there.
Okay.
Nisha's here.
They can get back in on this. It's Katomi and Toby. They've got to try and run. Nisha, he'll turn straight towards Toby in the trees. Toby trying his best with the Dukes. Katomi, look at the toss back. Look right. Will allow them to get the setup to go for more. Mickey dives in under the tower. Does mean that Toby's able to TP away. He's able to juke enough in the trees, wait out for Rolling Thunder, and get out of there without any threat of anything else, putting a stop to his escape.
Fishman dies top, though. Does step up a little bit too far versus Boxy and Zai.
I think Watson's pretty happy now, though. He's at the 6. I mean, as we've seen, he's already been able to get solo kills. He can kind of be left to his own devices top. And not really too much Liquid can do unless they bring Nisha in for a rotation.
Mid-game will still be a depressing point, it feels like, for the Slark versus this Bloodseeker. As mid, Stormstormer somehow just walks up against the Envis anyway, okay. And he is starting to get Meteor Hammers onto the tower. Nisha.
The setup, Avalanche, toss. The Nightmare comes out, and Nisha was actually able to swashbuckle before the hammer comes crashing down onto him.
That's the best spell that they have, just to like soft commit. That in the lift to stop out these Meteor Hammer spams. Insania gets clipped again, and Nisha will lose all his mana.
Yeah, pretty difficult for them to go on the Invoker with these heroes, especially when the Rolling Thunder is not available from Nisha.
Stacks are starting. find the obs ward quickly. Watson. Yeah, well, no, I mean, he's endured the lane very nicely anyway. That solo kill really was a big difference maker.
It really was. It does get him as a slot past the kind of the tough moments.
And Katomi hanging around the area. The two supports are very low. He gets seen.
And he's still hanging around, Katomi.
Toss back into the tornado, which will stop the toss.
And the EMP.
It gets the EMP hitting him. Okay.
You know, you turn up back to the lane and you lose 80% of your mana.
They're going to itemize for like how many, I mean, I don't even know how many Arcane Boots. They could even have 4 Arcane Boots on the side of the Liquid. So when you are playing versus Quasquex, you always want to make sure you do have quite a lot of those.
Oh.
Fishman.
Oh, no. No way he's getting out with that. Tries for a TP, but the shield crash here. We catches him. Back down bottom inside here. Surrounded by the 3 of them. Katomi, Toby and Storm managed to take him out. And now I'll get the ghosts out. I'll look to take this tier 1 tower off the map.
Ooh, can Liquid actually look to mount a defense here? I mean, Nisha, he's got roll.
I mean, it's hard though against the ghosts and the potential hammer. They don't want to be coming down here anytime soon. They'll let this one fall.
Hammer. And on the flip side, Watson standing his ground. Gonna have an Echo Saber finished at a good timing. And Zai, he's soon to being done with those stacks. Good play from Stormer. I like that he makes his way toward mid a little bit early before that bottom is finished off. And what do we see queued up from the Chen at the moment? I mean, right now, he's just going for like some small mini aura things like that, and he's pretty poor. So his timing on his shard won't be at the exact same timing as the Helm of the Overlord either. If he does even go for it, because we have seen some people not go for it, but I would hope so.
Yeah, well, you don't want to see Zai change up his game because of that.
I mean, we have seen. I've seen a couple of these Beastmasters. Sometimes they just go like Wraith Pact instead, or something like that.
Yeah, I think when we had 33 do that the other day, right?
Yeah, so it could be an option if he does see that Chen go for the shard. Watson, getting aggressive, gets a boar cleanup.
Yeah, can't quite continue to commit for the skill though.
But he's got his Echo Saber done. I mean, very good timing. Watson, top of the net worth. Even though he was getting spammed and spammed and spammed, they were able to secure his lane. Or maybe he was able to secure it himself, but that solo kill.
That solo kill made it so much easier for him.
Bottom, a big grab.
Not ready for that one at all there, Mickey.
Nice rotation. And Stormer, he is going Midas, by the way, so good call on that.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. You kind of get the Meteor Hammer quick enough, and I feel like if you don't get the Midas after the Meteor Hammer as this mid-invoker, your game's just going to fall off completely. You know, there's so much pressure to do stuff on the map, and if you don't, you're just going to be one of these invokers that's left bottom network core for the rest of the game.
Does cause you in mid game though, where you're gonna have like BKB and stuff a little bit later versus Pango and these gap closers. But
sure, I think one of the reasons you get away with it as well is because Watson's having such a good start.
Yeah, you know,
it's not like the Slark's struggling.
That's very true.
Watson's making the call. He's like, I'm having a great time.
That is very true.
Get that Midas.
Kobe.
Should have him here. He's got a little bit of a heal from the Siphon. And we'll try his best to dodge out the Thunder. But still gets caught in the steps. Katomi, though, on the other side of things, will manage to TP away.
Side turns up mid. Tower already very low. An Arcane Rune spots bottom. Nisha, he'll be able to get it. Stormer low mana now too. Mid tower, likely to fall.
Not a whole lot to be done here by Entity on this one.
Send the creeps to get the deny. Nicely done. Oh, and he is okay. So he is still gonna go for the mech on Fishman, rather than Toby going for it on the Death Prophet. That's a bit interesting.
Now, what build are we getting on Toby? Yours?
Looks like lens, maybe, right? Like most people just go the lens.
The lens. Yeah, you're right.
It does mean he's going to be quite fragile, at least if he's the one charging in.
Sure, and already having a slow start, of course. Toby right now, lowest net worth of the cores.
That could be a bit concerning.
Yeah, because it's not like they have trouble getting on top of him either.
No, and they have great ways to just control him. Like this, the Beastmaster Roar or the Rupture.
I mean, that's what. Do you think he's considering yours, or you don't really like yours?
You know, it sounds way better. It sounds infinitely better than a lens to me at the moment. But I'm just saying what I've seen most players do, what they do.
Been doing, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can get behind it, behind that Yule Scepter. But he's okay.
Okay, Lotus.
Going Lotus, an item that we've not seen too much lately, by the way. This item has kind of disappeared in this last patch for some reason.
It is a good Lotus game.
It definitely is.
You've got 3 big ultimates coming in onto a single target.
Very true. Nice stomp. Well played, Fishman.
See what they can get in return here. Nisha. The Thunder will catch Fishman in the river. Watson's turned up for the fight, but he'll step away. They get a bit of a trade there, support for support. Of course, one thing this says as well, I think the Lotus, it's nice in the sense that Toby's kind of addressed the fact that he's not having a great game. He just wants to be able to throw his Lotus really onto his Slarker and Voker, right?
Sure, yeah, to reflect one of these big spells, of course.
Kind of keep coverage around the sort of the windows between Dark Packs.
Well, they find Mickey again.
I made it here from Insania, trying to dodge him some of the damage coming in, but it's not enough to save it.
Huge kills.
Nisha, he came in to try and help out a bit.
Oh, Boxy's got stolen Exorcism, though.
Swashbuckle's back up just in time. Nisha under the tier 2.
Boxy can't actually take advantage of having Exo. He's scared of just getting burst.
Yeah, I mean, if Katomi is able to get the catch on him, would be in trouble, but as it is, he's back under the tower. Stormer.
Got him.
The setup.
It might just kill him. It's going to be pretty close.
Let's get the Nightmare. And in fact, Boxy with a stolen EMP. Try and burn the mana of Katomi, but joke's on him. Katomi still had the 1 charges. So the mana was able to get back up. Does still go down himself, but that was Insania having to use the Fiend's Grip.
Absolutely.
To take him down. So I don't think Katomi's going to be too fussed with that one. Ends up getting a chance to take out the Rubik, and pretty long ultimate cooldown used upon him. 2 minutes.
Okay.
Fiend's Grip's out.
And Stormer, I mean, being super active, he's already got his Midas. So, yep, the timing is amazing.
It's going to pay off.
I take back everything I was saying.
He's up there at the top, and soon he'll be surpassing Watson if he's able to just continue to play the game as we've come used to seeing Stormer on his Invoker be able to.
Yep, his best hero for a reason. He's making it work right now. And Watson getting all the space in the world. He almost has Aghanims. So, much better game for him than his counterpart at the moment, Mickey, who sure he has 4 kills, but Mickey being found a few times, his BKB is going to come quite a bit later. Zai, though, still having a pretty explosive game. He's top net worth of his course. Helm of Overlord soon on the horizon. He's making the move. Stormer.
It's away.
Nice TP.
That was a 4-man move here from Liquid, trying to find something.
Cool. And yeah, Toby, the Lotus Orb is finished. So very early. Even though he is bottom net worth of the course, does have that finished nice and early on. And as you said, besides even just the ultimates, the Lotus Orb does have its benefits versus some of these more casual small spells, like the Enfeeble, that will start coming out from Insania later on.
Yeah, it's just really nice in the sense that he puts the Lotus on like a Slark or something, the Slark's going in. The only spell that they have really to start a fight on is the Rolling Thunder, right? Outside of that, there's no setup that this Slark's going to care about at all. Or any of them, yeah. Whoever Toby's able to get the Lotus off upon, it's pretty much impossible outside the Rolling Thunder to safely engage onto the Lotus target.
No, definitely. That was our item recommendations were terrible. This was the good one. Or the best of the, the situation that he's in where he's bottom net worth and he's struggling. Ward placed from Nisha. Probably going to get instantly dewarded, Fishman. He has a sentry.
Yeah, soon going to be able to finally treat himself to a pair of boots here, Fishman.
Yep. Mech is done. But he has to know that Zai has the Helm of Overlord done. So I really want to see him. I honestly don't even get the boots. I think for him, I would say just queue up the shard.
What if he just doesn't get the shard at all?
Then I won't understand.
So surprised.
Then I will not understand why they picked Jen.
He's got to be queuing it up next.
I would.
Obviously, it will take time to get there.
Yeah.
He's not. He's a Jen. He's not going to get this money anytime soon.
Yeah. I mean, if he doesn't, I will be very confused if not. He's got Philosopher's Stone. That'll help. And now Entity, they have a Blink Dagger also on Katomi. They will find the D-Ward. Looks like they want to start getting a bit more aggressive. Watson, he can start getting involved with this Aghanims. I'm just clicking on the Chen, waiting to see if Fishman.
Just hoping to see that shard get queued up, otherwise it's going to be a big question mark.
Yeah, that's really what it is. It's just otherwise I'm very curious to see why they really wanted to go for it. I know a lot of his heroes pretty much all of them were taken out, but then why would you want to really go for it? Yes, the boar in the lane, but no one goes boar in lane.
Well, the little plays with the heal creep and stuff in the lane did make things nice for Watson.
Sure,
That's a nice little early creep play from Fishman.
Yeah, maybe someone can enlighten me if he doesn't go for it. Liquid starting to poke the Roche, but they'll back away. They want to take a fight instead, but it's a smoke into smoke.
Oh! They're going to start things here with a Tornado EMP onto the two of them. McKay able to put the BKB. Turns over towards Stormstorm. He's going to try and chase him out the Raw onto the Tiny, but Katomi, he's going to be fine. With the Exorcism out, Liquid just can't fight into this. They've lost 3. They'll lose the buyback on Insania. But even with Nisha crashing around the fight with the Rolling Thunder, I don't think they can get back in on this. Liquid's got to back off.
Damage issues, massive ones versus the mech in the Hand of God. That's
They
the other
couldn't
thing
kill
that the Chen
anything.
works. Yep. Way too much heals. Nobody does anything.
And now they can just look towards the Roshan entity. They're going to
even
be
more
able to
kills.
pick up Incendiary again. That's a dieback on the Bane. A horrific fight there for Liquid.
Perfect smoke. Perfect engagement. The Rupture comes down on Stormstormer, but he just stands his ground. All the heals get popped. Liquid is running into some damage issues.
I mean, Nisha, he's trying to swashbuckle in towards this, but with the Rolling Thunder on cooldown, very little chance of him being able to jump in. He might try for the steal with the swashbuckle and the shield crash. He's definitely doing his best to try and dissuade Entity from being able to continue to commit for this, but Shadow Dance is still available for Woz.
Mickey has respawned.
Roshan very low.
They're getting poked.
Silence from Toby catches onto the two of them. And they're kind of cautious about how they finish it. Watson's trying to find some sort of way to hide and get his heals.
I mean, Nisha just keeps poking him.
He's keeping him low. They get the telekinesis onto Watson. Watson's not on mana.
Uh-oh.
He's got pretty much no way out of this. He's not got mana for Shadow Dance.
Oh, and he doesn't have buyback. They're going to get the rush now on Liquid. Nisha's
Maybe we're going to
just
get more.
poking them.
He's going in. And indeed, this sort of situation where no heals available with Mickey up, you know, they saw that Slark. He's not able to hide anywhere at all, cannot heal up. And after what looked like it was going to be Entity setting up for an easy Roshan, it just turns completely on its head. It's 4 dead on Entity. Liquid, they'll be able to step into the Roshan, find it as low as it is, and finish it off themselves.
Nisha and Mickey just playing off each other this series. I mean, Mickey dies early on in the top fight, but Nisha survives. Nisha just poking and poking and poking, whittling them down with these constant annoying swashbuckles. It's enough. They burn the man on the poor Slark.
Kalma lang kalma. Relax lang.
I can't believe they're the ones who get that Roche after that top fight.
Yeah. Wow.
Deadly sweet.
Well, there we go.
We definitely got to see a bit of that beauty from Fishman, though. The mech plus that Hand of God in the fight. And he has queued up.
Stormer.
Oh, no way.
He's out of mana.
Oh, no way. He is dead.
He's very dead.
Oh,
Things are falling apart here for Entity in a matter of minutes.
Oh, boy. Well, that just happened. Fishman did queue up the shard, by the way.
He did.
Yeah, all's good in the world.
Good to see.
he queued up Arcane Boots for a second, and I was like, uh-oh. But no, either way. You could definitely see a little bit of extra the reasoning why they did want it. The heals, definitely pretty good, at least versus Liquid's initial go. Now they've got coverage of Aegis and Boxy. The stolen pounce attempting to get the lift, but can't quite.
Okay, nearly 4 million after that series of events.
That was a big comeback for them.
It really was. From the high ground. Considering making the jump down onto them as well. Entity.
And Stormstormer, you know, Midas, it is delaying a little bit of that BKB. Yes, he's getting levels in farm, but BKB's going to be coming out quite a bit later versus this draft of Liquid that has now hit a pretty big timing.
They're going for the smoke, but since this Aegis on Mickey.
Can they grab Katomi? He's got Blink.
Difficult move here for Entity.
Dire's top tower is under attack or scanning.
The DD bottom, DD room bottom.
They'll give it to Watson. Ooh, this could be the avenue to allow them to take the fight. Right now, the vision, though, a bit difficult to walk into this area versus Liquid. They've got full control with the Hawk and wards.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
Going for a drum on Toby. Really going for like small kind of items on this Death Prophet. He is really falling behind on the net worth. His impact
Dire's top tower has fallen.
definitely going to be a lot more difficult. There you go. Zai going for the Greaves. So he's like, okay, you guys have all this heal and stuff like that. Maybe now we'll be able to counteract you guys with heals too inside the fights. Because Entity's damage with Death Prophet, if the fights are long, they'll be able to take targets out. But if these fights are short, Entity definitely could also have some of these issues with damage.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Anyway, Fishman, as we see. The Shard. It's online.
Liquid
Stormer nearly has BKB.
Not quite been able to do too much with this A. Just they'll try for another smoke up themselves, Liquid. Still a minute and a half.
Stormer has to be careful. He's so close to BKB. Oh no.
And Nisha's got the opening. In they go, no hesitation. They'll drop the Raw. Make sure they can keep him controlled. There's no saving the Invoker.
Oh man. He was getting very close to it. Loses about 200 gold from it. And oh, that's oh, he can steal it back.
He can steal it back.
By the shard.
By the shard. He needs the shard, of course. But indeed, we might see these ancient creeps switching hands pretty quickly.
Yeah. This is big too, because he can just start making his own army. So now he's got a little bit more auras, some attack speed aura for his allies too. Liquid starting to blow the game open. Invoker desperately needs the BKB to show up into any of these team fights.
For the twins.
Fight around Roshan really turned things in this game sort of upside down completely for Entity. I mean, and the way it happens so quickly.
Yep.
They're able to enter into that pit after a fight that looked awful for Liquid. They lost, what, like kind of 3 years? They lost Insania twice.
They didn't touch anything, yeah.
They didn't get anything in return, but as it was, Entity could not finish Roshan quick enough. And Liquid coming in hard with that punch back. Much harder than the initial blow that Entity delivered to them.
Just the little pokes, just these little swashbuckles. I mean, Pango, super annoying hero to play against if he's able to get just like 5-6 swashbuckles onto you like that. Entity. Ancient versus Ancient, taken back. And Nisha's in.
Yep. Fishman looking very much dead. They'll try and get the heals off. But the heals still full. Watson's going to try and enter in from the back lines and looks towards Insania, but the heals are there. Insania's going to be fine.
Stolen Hand of God.
And now they just turn around. Mikke puts the BKB. They'll take out Kataomi, take down Toby. Entity, they've got no place in this fight anymore. They have to run.
They're crumbling completely. Exo gets popped. He dies in 2 seconds. As we said, he's very fragile. And Boxy, he steals Exorcism. Or sorry, he steals Hand of God. So not even Insania goes down. The jump initially happened. They get the heal plus the mech. Insania back up to full HP. And now...
Oh, that's pretty wild. Yeah, not a steal that you see happen every day.
No, and
these sort of global spells.
This tower, it's just dead. Rax as well. Probably undefendable.
They can stick around, Liquid. Not really a whole lot they need to be scared about from Entity.
Gonna run in to steal the Ancient. I mean, last time him stealing the Ancient actually got him killed. Because he stole the Ancient, it got taken back, and then they just full initiated on him. And Fishman, I think it's tough to really make the call here as him, but he had to use Hand of God and mech for himself. So that means nobody else on your team is actually benefiting from the heals.
Dire's top tower is under
And they
attack.
desperately did need it there inside the fight. Nisha now, full Aghanims, 3-0 and 10. His damage is going to be ridiculous in the fights now too.
Yeah, we saw on the stats earlier how well Pango's been doing, and when it's in the hands of players like Nisha, you certainly see why. It was a fantastic ending pick to the draft, and one that Entity haven't really had any answers to.
Well, I mean, somehow he survived every time. I can't believe he has 0 deaths. I actually thought he died, but haven't been able to bring down Nisha. I mean, even Zai also just having this insane game. These this Beastmaster, it's a problem. And you're seeing the itemization from them. They're playing versus Slark. Did want to point this out earlier, but lots of different fights. Check out the 4 staves. Yep. So 2 4 staves. Even Zai buying one of his own, just knowing that it's that important in this game. Insania probably making the call, hey guys, I'm kind of underfarmed. Like, I want my lens so I can actually cast spells. So Zai moves up the priority of 4 staff. Now, yeah, Entity, they buy a gem. This isn't one of those like advantageous gems, though. This is like, oh my god, we're constantly under vision. These Hawks are causing us huge problems.
Liquid on the way towards him.
Oh, Katomi. Boxy finds him.
Oh yeah, they will reveal everyone for that. Yeah. On the same side of, Entity's side of things, they'll probably be happy that it's not more than a tiny.
But Insania is trickling in. They have a Hawk
if
on
they
top
get a
of
further
Watson.
catch.
Uh-oh, Watson. Oh, he just gets gripped. Well, Liquid, they're completely blowing the game open. That is, what they've gotten, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so many consecutive. Literally in the last 10 minutes, Entity, that was the last time that fight happened up top.
A solid kind of starts in both games from Entity, but things kind of get down to the fighting, the brawling. Liquid
Dire's bottom tower is
is coming in with the outplay as Entity that's struggling to deal with it.
There's no answer.
Each and every time, Liquid
fortified.
getting much more out of the trades, out of the moves of the map, and Entity now at this point they're just kind of held up in their base.
It's crazy what something like a Hawk can do to a game, right? That was just a Beastmaster Hawk that gave vision of the Slark for a second, and then Insania's just, he's there with the smoke to get the catch. Well, we always talk about how important vision is in these big games. Even though there's a Slark to counteract some of the vision, Hawks are just these free wards constantly. Feeling that there's very little hope for the side of Entity now at this point.
How do they turn this game?
Yes,
Mickey is just so far ahead. Full Scardy.
they're also farmed. And Stormstormer, even though he had a very good start to the game as well too, he has fallen off completely. He's got BKB, he hasn't even been able to use it.
I'll take that.
DD Rune as well, ready for Mickey.
Drops the bottle, yeah.
Give Mickey the chance to be even more deadly in the next fight.
Feeble. Insania does give away that they have vision there. Whoopsie.
Roshan is going to be back up in 20 seconds, so Liquid could look to just hold this area.
Stormstormer blinks in.
Get the BKB off, but the Roar, of course, still there. Nisha trying to commit forward as well.
But now no BKB for the fight. And they used Hand of God. And the Depth Shroud. Honestly, that was like 3 pretty big spells there.
And Roshan's going to be
And
back
Roshan's up. That was a Roar used, but definitely more dangerous spells committed on the side of Entity. And Watson, he still doesn't have BKB, so he also doesn't feel good to be able to walk into the fights. So Rosh is going to die fast. Entity needs every little thing for themselves, and yeah, no BKB Invoker, he can't fight. Fishman, no Hand of God, no Mac.
He's going to try Stormstormer.
Oh no, Stormstormer.
They're going to turn straight towards him with the BKB on cooldown. He's got nothing to help himself. A Stormstormer taken out. We'll see over to the side. Fishman caught in the river. As they'll turn, I mean,
Toby's gonna die too, unless, nope, he's not dead.
it might be getting to the point where they call it.
Yeah, it feels
This
like
is
it.
looking pretty over for Entity. Liquid just crushing them in every single moment, really, in the second half of the game. And
Even the
diving into
tornado
the base.
catch.
See if they can find Katomi. He's going to be able to step into the trees, but the stolen avalanche from Boxy catches him.
Oh. Toss
What?
back into the fountain.
All right, but the BKB's up. Mickey's able to run out
Nice try.
without anything else able to catch him under the damage of the fountain. The bottom racks will be taken. And Boxy is ready to jump in and set up for more. Watson will get the BKB off. Darpack there in time to remove the Roar. So if you can find any kills from this, though. Struggling in the damage department. It's going to take a lot of hits to get anything. And he's not going to have the chance to get nearly enough hits to do any sort of damage. As Liquid, they get the racks.
They're gonna keep going, it feels like.
Still got 3 minutes and a half with this Aegis. Of course, there's not a lot that they're scared of. Liquid right now, 18k lead.
The only thing they don't have is the Roar at the moment. It's like, okay, maybe they do actually give a little bit more breathing room to Entity. Don't want to throw this incredibly large advantage from themselves. I mean, they probably could have gone for it anyway, but they want to take the safer route. Finish up those neutral items. As Watson versus the world now at this point. And he's playing into those counter matchups that we were talking about from earlier.
Getting very close to the point where this Rubik's about to overtake the DP.
Oh,
And Boxy.
good lord. Yeah, Toby having a very rough game.
Tower is under attack.
Liquid just playing it smart. They're letting the lanes naturally push in. This is the safest way that you could have done it rather than taking a risk and going for the push. Top lane shoving in. They've got Roar back available. Entity probably only have one last hurrah. As Watson, he's just starting to dance in circles in the trees. He just has no damage now too, right? Watson BKB Aghanims and stuff like that. Yeah, you've got ways to catch and get on targets and maybe protect yourself a little, but
Dire's top tower
you need
is
stacks in order to have a fight go well. Alacrity will be the only thing that maybe allows him to take out one of these targets.
Starting the fight even from their own high ground is not easy for Entity. So here's the jump forward. Try and get the burst onto the Pango, but Nisha's able to get out to the side. They'll turn with the Raw onto the Death
grip.
Prophet. The grip's there as they hold down Stormstormer. He's losing his mana. He's going to be able to survive through that initial attempt from Liquid, but Nisha rolls back across with the Thunder. Him and Fishman down. Toby as well to fall. 3 dead on Entity. There's no buyback available on them, and Watson, he just hasn't got the damage to get the job done. He tries to go for Zai, but a defensive nightmare's there from Insanium. With Shadow Dance coming to an end, Watson's got to run. He's not even going to have that luxury. Triple kill for Mickey. GG is called. Liquid take game 2, and with that, the series is theirs. 2-0 today.
Well, I mean, Entity, they had that one good fight, and I mean, maybe things could have changed.